You know, if there's one thing in the Sonic franchise I've learned to appreciate these last few years, it's the selection of characters, mainly due to how much worse we've got recently. So today, I'm going to take a look back at the characters that stand out to me the most. So, forced and awkward introduction aside, here's my top 10 best Sonic characters. Number 10. Rouge the Bat. Rouge has such a cool design, and it makes me wonder why only female Sonic characters are allowed to be fully clothed. She has 3 different outfits and they all look pretty cool. She's also got those cool bat wings, which automatically make her better than Knuckles, purely for the fact her ability to glide actually makes sense. My favourite portrayal of Rouge is probably from Sonic Heroes. I just like her voice a lot in that game. She's still cool in SA2, but I just thought her character was more enjoyable in Heroes. All her appearances after that just make her sound like a hooker and removed all her personality. She also has some really cool unused designs, but I'm still happy with the final version. She's also got a super chill and underrated theme in SA2. And she's pretty hot. Number 9. My Tp Armadillo. My T doesn't really have much of a personality, probably due to the fact he's only ever appeared in 3 games and none of them have any dialogue, but he's still a cool character. Him and Ray both look amazing in the Archie comics, but I've never actually read an issue that has them in. However, I did find Mighty quite entertaining in the one issue of the Sonic Fleetway comic I've read. People often point out that his design just looks like a lazy OC, given how he's pretty much a retooled Sonic sprite, but he at least looks a bit more unique in the actual artwork. So if you're gonna blame anyone for that, blame Sonic Mania Plus, since they changed his proportions and colours as an excuse to reuse old sprites. Other than that though, his design looks great. He's also based on an unused design for Sonic, which is pretty cool. Mighty and Ray are also a great example of gay representation. Number 8. Big the fucking cat. You know, Big isn't a bad character, and it sucks that he's been demoted to just being a meme in recent years. I quite liked him in SA1 and Heroes. It's not his fault that his gameplay style sucked in SA1. He's easily the best purple cat in the franchise. Feel free to fight me in the comments. My favourite version of Big would once again be Heroes. I also like his design. He's got those long ears, that chunky body, and the cool belt. His colours are also really nice. Reminds me of Knights, which would make sense since they are both designed by the same guy. The one issue I have with his design is that he's got those weird pancake feet. If they're gonna have his feet always be visible, why not just give him toes? Oh well. Big's also just a very likeable character in general. If everyone fought like Big, the world would be a better place. Number 7. E123 Omega. Out of all the characters to suffer from cast changes, Omega probably suffers the most. Probably due to the fact that his character pretty much is his voice. His line deliveries in Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog were great, but once his voice actor was replaced, he was just never the same. His voice in Forces was certainly an improvement over 06, but it's still just not the same. Even if they can't get his voice right, I'd still like to see him more in future games. Shadow needs his bro as well as his hoe after all. Number 6. Shadow the Hedgehog. Surprise surprise, the whole of Team Dark is on the list. What did you expect? I like Team Dark. Shadow swears a lot and he's British. My kind of guy. He also has a gun. Because guns are cool. In all seriousness though, Shadow's a pretty cool character. He's one of the only Sonic characters to have any depth to him. In his first appearance at least. He was at his best in SA2, but I still don't really mind that we brought him back. The conclusion to his character arc may not have been perfect, but it was something. I just think it was cool to have some continuity between games. Take notes, any Sonic game since 2006. Shadow's other voice actors are fine, but David Humphrey will always be the best. His deliveries were just perfect. I sure do miss their British accent. Shadow's prototype design looks great and does make more sense in the context of the story, but I'm completely fine with the design we got. I also actually quite like his spin-off game. Feel free to fight me in the comments. Number 5. Espio the Chameleon. He's a chameleon and a ninja. He's a fucking purple ninja lizard. What else do I need to say? He's awesome. His classic design is fine, just a little off looking. But one issue I have with his design is probably his horn. I've always felt like it should be placed at the top of his muzzle like a nose, rather than at the bottom of his forehead. It looks fine most of the time, but it can look really bad other times. But yeah, Espio's a cool character. All of the Chaotix are actually. I like him a lot in Sonic Heroes and in pretty much all of his comic book incarnations. The modern games kinda took away his personality though. He was always a ninja trying too hard to look cool, but he at least had some energy to him. He's pretty much a plank of wood now. Once again, I feel like he was at his best in Heroes by far. Number 4. Chaos. Chaos has green eyes, hates being woken up, and is literally goop. My kinda guy. I've really liked Chaos ever since I was a kid. I didn't grow up with Sonic Adventure, so I only knew him through the multiplayer in SA2. I thought the idea of a creature made out of liquid was awesome, and when I saw his final form in Generations, I just thought he was even cooler because he looked a lot like Biollante. Chaos can't really talk, and doesn't really emote at all. He's more of a force of nature. When he's not standing around staring into nothing, he's destroying humanity for the hell of it. And he's got stretchy arms. He may not be the hero we want, but he's truly the hero we deserve. Number 3. Sonic the Hedgehog. Quite a niche pick, I know. Most of you probably don't even remember this character, but it was actually in the franchise for quite a long time, all the way from 1991 to 2009 in fact. It got replaced by this obnoxious prick in 2010. My favourite interpretation of Sonic is the one from SA2, in terms of both design and character. Second best would be his last appearance, Sonic and the Black Knight. The writing in that game is really underrated. Sonic's so cool he even got into Smash Bros. Brawl. It got replaced by the other guy in future installments, but who cares, Brawl's the only good one anyway. Feel free to fight me in the comments. Number 2. Metal Sonic. It's a well-known fact that robotic counterparts to characters are the coolest things ever, and Sonic has a whole bunch of them, but none of them quite reach the same level of kickassery as Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic has been the antagonist of 2 games, which is more than most Sonic villains can say. He's also been playable a few times. I've heard people complain that unlocking Metal Sonic isn't worth 100% completing Sonic Adventure 4, and to that I say, fuck you, yes he is. And he gets even cooler. Neo Metal Sonic. Look at this edgy motherfucker. Seriously, why aren't male Sonic characters allowed to wear clothing? Look how well this guy pulls it off. My one gripe with this design would be the whole starfish look it has going on. I feel like the spine should be pointed more backwards rather than shooting straight out, but he still looks rad. I also think the different eye shape helps him look a bit better when viewed from the front than regular Metal Sonic. Could this guy seriously get any cooler? Well, apparently he can, because he can transform into a giant fucking robot kaiju. Any Sonic character that can transform into a kaiju is automatically one of the best. In the IDW comics, there's even Super Neo Metal Sonic, who then transforms into Master Overlord and alternate kaiju mode. Metal Sonic is truly the gift that keeps on giving, and so are the IDW comics. If you haven't decided to pick these up yet, there is something seriously wrong with you. Metal Sonic also has a cool vocal theme, which you'd know if you watched my last video. Number 1.
Me, Omachao.
Omachao, I don't have time for your shit today. Anytime one of my videos goes over 10 minutes, no one watches it. I'm trying to keep this one short.
Maybe you should stop trying to appease YouTube and just make the content you want to make.
I don't tell you how to live your life.
You literally ranted at me for 5 minutes straight this morning for saying Hydrocity instead of Hydrocity.
And any sensible person would. Anyway, number 1. Silver the Hedgehog. Silver is an incredibly underrated character, most likely due to the fact he first appeared in one of the most hated games of all time, and then his canonical introduction was in a spin-off game no one's ever heard of. Him and Espio are another great example of gay representation. I remember the first time I ever saw Silver was through a Sonic activity book or something when I was a kid. There was some art of him next to a word search, and I thought he looked cool as fuck. I guess I assumed he had ice powers because he's white, so I dubbed him Icy the Hedgehog. I didn't learn who he actually was until I played Sonic 06. Or Sonic Rivals 2, I don't actually remember which one I played first. Either way, I liked him. There was also a series on YouTube called the Sonic, Shadow and Silver Show, which I used to love as a kid, which also aided in my love for the character. Did anyone else used to watch these videos? A whole bunch of different channels were doing it, so I have no clue who the actual owner of the series was, but some of these channels are still making them. Wow. Shadow was always my favourite character as a kid, as I'm sure he was everyone else's, but Silver's definitely taken the top spot for me in recent years. My favourite incarnation of Silver would be the one from Sonic Forces. That's a first. I like him in 06, but both his voice and personality were improved upon in later installments, even with the shitty writing. Silver is so good, not even the modern games are capable of ruining him. Nothing can ever ruin this character.
Good to see you, Blaze. I noticed you got the same mysterious invitation that I did.
So, those are my top 10 Sonic characters. Feel free to comment your own favourites. I also recently opened a Discord. It's pretty cool stuff.
It has an macho emote.
It sure does.
It has a porn channel. For the love of God, subscribe. This channel is dying and it's all your fault.